So let's start with where we are. Good evening,
Good morning.
good night,
Good afternoon.
wherever you are in the world. Hey, it's me, Steve.
And it's me, Kass.
And I'm pointing at Kaz because I know that people can see it because we're not just recording audio but also visual. And welcome to dinner with Kass and Steve. And as you can tell, Kaz is already.
I want to take a bite of yours. I feel like you got a better dinner.
Yeah? So
Yeah.
we're gonna have dinner together. We're sitting here and I said, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool that we just have dinner with
Yeah,
on
with our podcast crew.
Yeah. So what do we talk about at a dinner and stuff like that? So we don't really have a subject. By the way, welcome to the Fun Road podcast, of course.
The Fun Road podcast is all about the small behavioral changes that are very easy to make that make a very long-lasting impact.
I love that. And you will hear us smacking and schmucking and
Smacking our lips. Is it on?
Oh yeah.
All right, good. Thank you for setting that up.
She goes like, "Is the mic on?"
Yeah, hold on. Are we recording?
So we're because this is something that we love. We call that in our Fun Road training. It's about pit stops where you recharge, refuel, reflect. What have we done today? And this is something that we always do. At night, we go for a nice dinner to recharge.
Yep, absolutely.
To refuel.
Yep.
And also to reflect. To go, what did we do today? We go over our to-do list,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So we wanted to record that, but not thinking that we're recording a podcast, but talk like we normally talk. So
Which is kind of how our podcast is anyway.
yeah, so
But one of the cool things is that I feel like we're very good at putting phones away, spending quality time,
Totally.
and really just kind of diving into more topics. Ever since we started the Fun Road, we've really set our minds on a different track of what makes people happy,
Yeah.
what makes people successful, what other people's idea is of successful. And
Yeah.
today we are in Canada, and we're eating at the Pancake House this morning, and we have the nicest manager who came over because the food ended up taking quite a long time. So
Yeah.
he came over and greeted us, and he's in the hospitality business, and that is his career. And there's so many different ways that people can use their talents to create an impact. And he was so personable and so nice. And should we crack it?
wait, people at home, you can see it. 3, 2, 1.
And then for me,
Look how happy she is.
Yeah.
By the way, what are you eating?
I am eating a healthy choice. Which one did I pick? I picked a grilled chicken red pepper Alfredo.
I like that. And people are going to say, what? You eat like that? But sometimes we don't have a choice. We need to buy like a ready meal and just warm it in the microwave. And
Our option was either we go to a restaurant and we spend a lot of time waiting, and which is all part of the experience if you have time for it. But we have to be up and out of here by 4:45. So there's not really an option of a fancy dinner.
So today, what have we done today? This morning we woke up quite early. We went to the gym. Fantastic. We did it. We walked in the gym. There was nothing there, and we thought, oh, it's
I'm not feeling it.
easily to say, okay, we're stepping out of this. The part of the slurping and stuff like that, I'm sorry you have to take it with us because it's called
Eating.
dinner. It's called dinner with Kass and Steve. I mean, it probably looks better on YouTube. So if you're only hearing the sounds, it's better when you can see what we're eating. So we went to the gym. We did a good full workout. We actually recorded 2 podcasts this morning already.
Yep.
We walked into the city. We went and do some shopping, talk about business. We came back. We took a little nap. We do that as well because that's part of a recharge. Because we didn't feel too well this afternoon.
Out of
No, I don't know
nowhere,
what
we were feeling like
happened.
we were hit with a fever.
At the same time.
Yeah, we both felt so yucky.
Yeah, we go like, oh, I need to lay
Oh
down.
my gosh, how are we gonna do this?
And we lay down, then took a little nap. We went out to teach. We taught a big class. Came back, warmed our meal, recorded another podcast. So we're going over our to-do list and saying that we did actually a fantastic job today.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that we've talked about is that different cultures, different countries, because we travel. I mean, I taught in over 80 countries, and you're probably right
No,
there
not
as well.
not as much, but over 60.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we've seen a lot of different countries, and we
Yes.
always end up seeing that we always see very happy people in countries where we sometimes think that the economy is not always doing the best. Because now they say the happiest people are, for example, the people in Denmark. They consider it as the happiest people. And
Provo is one of the happiest
yeah,
places in the
but
States.
you know what? I love Denmark, and I've been there so many times, and I always say, of course you guys are the happiest nation in the world. You got nothing to complain about. They're living a fantastic quality life. I mean, if you wake up there and you still got a lot of complaints,
Yeah, you got a problem.
you got to put it in perspective. And then sometimes you and I, we've been to India where we see very poor people, and they're smiling and they're happy.
Yeah.
And so it's true that there's a point of happiness that you always return to, and you might have a peak of more happy when you get something, a new car, or you win a lottery, but you always go back to that basic happiness, which is based on your relationship, your friends, your family. And if that is good, it doesn't matter if you're rich or
Yeah.
not. And it's scientifically proven
Yeah.
that the happiness, you remember, there's how do you say that?
A graph, a test, a survey.
A survey of
Yeah.
30 years.
Yeah.
Where they watch the happiness with people, and they only see that the happiness is kind of stable. It only grows when something very emotional happens,
Yeah.
like a new baby. And did you finish your
Oh
food
yeah.
already?
I ate it so I could talk. I've been letting you talk.
Okay, there we go.
But you know, the happiest, what they've learned is that the happiest people, when they look at their lifestyle and they look at what are the factors that are making them happy, it is not things, it is people and relationships.
Yeah.
Deep-rooted relationships.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I went to India, we did a tour of the slums. And it's so interesting because it could not be more different than what I am used to as far as a lifestyle. And our tour guide was amazing, and they actually said that when people come and do a tour, because the money from that gives education and opportunities to the kids who are working for the tour.
Yeah.
And I felt a little uncomfortable doing it because I felt like I was just going and looking at their life. And that felt very strange to me.
Yeah.
But, you know, we went by one.
Because we go see it for a different reason. We go see it
Yeah.
like, look, this is
I almost felt like I
and-
was like
watching.
I was looking at just
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
such a weird feeling, and such a beautiful culture and these people, and there are millions of people who live in the slums. And when the person was giving us a tour, I just didn't like looking in people's houses. That just never would. That's just not. I don't know. It felt uncomfortable. But when he was giving the tour, he said, "I want to ask you at the end of it a question." And so we do the tour, and it was very interesting because the culture runs like any other city in any other ecosystem. I think that's the right word. Where there was like a movie theater, there's a bakery, but you know, you might have it's almost like a garage shed that is a house, and it's the store, but it's also the home. When the store closes, then they make a bed on top of the table that they sell their goods on, and they make furniture, they make bags, they make scarves, and a lot of the products are sold on the streets. So anyway, at the end of it, he asked if I think, or if the group, if we think that any of the people looked unhappy. And he said, nobody here is unhappy.
No, it's true.
And it's interesting because people who are outside of that think, oh, we need to save them from this. But when you grow up knowing that the biggest possession you have is your choice of thoughts and how you will respond and react to life circumstances, you don't complain. You just do, and you're grateful for what you have.
We are getting better and better trained at it because it's easy to tell somebody, you gotta look at how happy, and there's a lot of people out there who don't have that. it's not until you literally travel and
Yeah.
see it the way we do that you start putting everything way better in perspective. People, their wealth. It's wealth is not measured by money. Or in the beginning, you know it's, but it's until you see that you go, it's absolutely
Yeah.
true. Cultures, everybody have different cultures. Does not mean bad. It means that it's all different. It's until you literally go do it. Religions, same thing. And we are so lucky to be able to become people of the world where
Yeah.
we can see the beauty in everything
Yeah.
and seeing how beautiful it is to be different. And it's fantastic. We truly know the meaning of home.
Yeah. Yeah.
We know we go home and this is home and this is our comfort zone, where we live, our religion. This is a comfort zone, but we realize that the rest is not bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of people, and it's fantastic. When I go to Bruges, my home, I go, yeah.
Yeah, this is home.
But
It's it's almost like your
Home.
soul gets on not autopilot, but it just relaxes.
Yeah. This is
Everything
your.
feels comfortable.
Yeah, and I love that. And people
Yeah.
have that in Brazil, in India, in South Africa, in Canada, in
Yeah,
Australia,
yeah.
the US, Belgium, Spain. That's the
really,
beauty.
I really like what you said, that it's not that we don't value our home and love the ease of being in our home, our culture, our comfort
Yeah,
zone.
yeah.
But outside of that is nothing that we fear or
No.
think is less than.
Yeah.
It's just a different. It's like
Yeah.
you're so grateful for food. You're not.
Yeah.
You prefer this cuisine, but you don't think that any of them are less than
Yeah.
another.
And I think that's the problem that we have these days in society. People say, mine
Yeah,
is the best.
yes.
And it's no, yours is your home, it's your comfort zone. And of course, for you, it's the best. For me, Bruges, the best. For other people, there, and that's what people need to realize. Yours is not the best. It's called home.
Yeah.
And once you start to see the beauty, and we are so lucky that we have the opportunity, because others have to do it by listening to other stories
Yeah.
or to our stories or seeing it on TV.
Yeah, or looking
But
at
that-
National Geographic.
Yeah,
and-
but that's the problem is that TV is showing us most of the time, 90%, the bad sides of what's
Yeah.
going on. Because when you watch news, it's most.
Oh my gosh, I don't trust news.
Yeah.
It's all according to what they want to promote. Because if you look, for example, of course, the thing is, it's not that those things aren't true. It's just that those aren't it. It's not. There's so much more
Yeah,
to the story. There's so much more to the country.
of course.
And when I look at going to Saudi Arabia and how that might be to some people alarming.
Yeah. Well,
And-
the news shows us things that are happening, but they're never going to say, "Oh, now we're going to show you a
Yeah,
side of
let's show you
Saudi
another
Arabia that is
side."
beautiful, and look, there's people." And we're talking about Saudi Arabia, but it could have been easily
Like
any other
anything.
country. But
It can be with Provo. It can be with any. I mean, there's
Yeah.
people who say, this and that, not necessarily in a dangerous way, but in
Oh, yeah.
a cultural way of like things that they don't like about Utah, or about Belgium,
Yeah,
or about I
yeah.
mean, with anything. And the more that we can. It's almost like they're looking at it like through a tiny little
Yeah,
lens.
yeah,
The
yeah.
more they can zoom out and see the bigger picture,
yeah,
the less you fear and the less you think that we're any different, because really we're all the
oh
same.
yeah, absolutely. And for me, I've been traveling for a long time. And first, it started always in Europe, and even in Europe, we were divided 25 years ago. It was this country and that country, and now European Union is different. So it's all starting to mix more, and I love that. I am
Yeah.
very fond of it. You will never be overwhelmed by a new culture that is coming in your country or your city. It's never going to happen. People are so scared because of that.
Yeah.
My home, and when you come in, you're going to disgrace the value of my home.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, no, they can upgrade the value. I mean,
For
today,
sure.
look at today. We're in Canada, and we we were here with people of all different cultures, and they did fantastic. They're sweet. They're not that. So we are very lucky to be able to experience that, because a lot of people don't have that opportunity, of course.
And I think that you can even scale it to how do you treat the people even within your neighborhood, or who have your kids go to different schooling, or they have different hobbies.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm listening to this book that I just think is so fascinating, and I think it's called You Should Talk to Someone, and it's about the therapist, and it's about a therapist who wrote it, and it's her experience with her own therapist, and then her experience with her people that her clients. And they were talking about Viktor Frankl and how he is a psychologist, and then he was in the concentration camps, and he had the opportunity to leave, but he didn't want to be separated from his family, and then ended up during the war that everybody but him died. So he didn't even have to go.
Yeah.
The whole thing that he was fearing of losing his family, he wanted to be there for his family, ended up being for naught. He lost everything anyway, and he was saying that once you realize that the one thing that people cannot take is how you look at life and how you respond to situations. That is something that
is your control.
That is yours. And I think that we get into a habit of giving that power to other people.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it should be a conscious thing every day, being like, oh, I don't have to respond that way, or I don't have to look at it that way. I don't need to do that, even if you disagree. And be the person who says, oh yeah, well, that's okay. I don't see it that way. Let's look at it a different way. I mean, not only do we have the power to see it for ourselves and to have a different perspective, we also have that gift of lifting other people out of it.
And it's beautiful to say, okay, I did it my way, but you have to, I sound like Frank Sinatra now.
I did it my way.
That's scary that we start singing at the same time. But you have to, it's fantastic to do it your way.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that it's not the only way.
Yeah.
And that everybody has the right for their own way. And if we all accept that, it will work beautifully together. So, anyway, tomorrow morning, what time is it now? It's like 9:30 and we wake up at 4. Perfect. Love it. 6 hours sleep.
Had a nice little
dinner, and I'm gonna go to my room. I'm gonna wish you a very good night's sleep.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we fly to
Texas.
Dallas, Texas, because we got another event in Texas, and then next week we actually start filming something fantastic, which we cannot say, but we say it anyway to the people at home and the people listening to this podcast. You're one of the first ones who hear it. And you will be one of the first one when we can literally tell you everything, share it,
show you.
You will be the first. So,
but we have a challenge for you this week. Our challenge for you is to do something where you take the power and you change your perspective and you choose your happiness, because there's always two sides to everything. There's always a positive to every negative. And go ahead and share your experience. You can take a picture with your friends, or maybe instead of having a negative situation, you're rained out, you decide to do something fun inside.
Cool.
We didn't have time for dinner. We can take a picture of our dinner cozy inside.
Even this,
here.
we make the best out of it.
Yeah.
Other people will say, oh, we got it. No, we make the best out of it, and it's all perspective in life. So don't forget to do that, and hashtag MyFun. How do you do that? Hashtag MyFunRoad. And please rate this podcast. Give us 5 stars if you can, because 4 or less, we're not interested in that. No, I'm just joking.
But for real.
But for real. 5 would be great. So, wish you all a great day, a fantastic day. Keep up the positive spirits. We all love you. See you soon, and
Goodbye.
bye now.
Goodbye.
Bye.